Hey guys, I'm Smitty. This is my 2005 Mini Cooper S. In this video, I'm going to quickly break down why I was looking for this car and see if you should maybe consider a first generation Mini Cooper S as well. Let's get started. Oh, look at the timing of that light though. I was joking, but here we go. So let me introduce you to my Mini Cooper. Like I said, this is a 2005 Cooper S. This is the R53 model, and it's got 138,000 miles right now. It's originally a Florida car, so thankfully no rust, but the previous owner loved this car. They put a ton of maintenance into it and some mods as well. For maintenance, 3,000 miles ago, has a new clutch, has a new AC compressor, the coolant expansion tank, belt tensioner. A lot of the common issues with these Minis has already been addressed. As far as the mods go, it's got a 16% supercharger pulley, Willwood 4-piston brakes, strut braces, BC racing coilovers, rims and tires. This is just a fun car. It's not a supercar, it's not like crazy fast, but it's quick and it puts a smile on your face. Just listen to that supercharger. Easy girl, easy girl. Whew. So why did I choose this car? I wanted a fun driver's car, something that was good on gas and manual, just as close as a blend that I could get as a fun yet practical car. So I get 27 to 29 miles per gallon. The back seat does fit a car seat. I can't put groceries in here. I can do a lot of daily things, but even daily driving, it is fun. If I want to use this at a track day, I can do that. If I want to take this to the tail of the dragon, which isn't too far from me in East Tennessee, I can do that as well. To me, this car is in the same category as the Volkswagen GTI. It's just a hot hatch that's fun and practical. This is actually the second R53 that I've had. Back in college, I had a pure silver 2006, and I loved that car. I bought it with only 33,000 miles on it, and I drove that car up to 100,000 miles. A very trouble-free car. Drove that thing everywhere, and at the time, two of my good friends also bought Mini Coopers. One got a dark silver R53 and then one had a Roadster, and we drove those things everywhere, went to Minis on the Dragon, photo shoots, just had fun with those cars. I sold that car to buy the 4Runner that you've seen in some of my other videos, and ever since I sold that car, I always missed it. Anytime that I thought about getting a manual, fun to drive car again, I just kept thinking of another Mini Cooper. Let's see if my camera will stay steady. This is always a really fun part of this road. I bet this looks pretty cool. Yee! That's fun. So these are the first Mini Coopers since the BMW group acquired Mini. In the US, these are the model years 2002 to 2006 and all the way up to 2008 for the convertibles. These came in a lot of different models. The R50 is the base model. R53 is the more sportier version with different suspension, has the supercharger, and then the convertible is the R52. They say that Miata is always the answer, and I won't argue that. I think Miatas have their place in the heart of a lot of car enthusiasts, but I think these Mini Coopers have a lot of similarities. They're both fun to drive, manual, sporty cars. They're pretty similar in cost, pretty similar in size. The big difference is that the Miatas are, of course, rear-wheel drive. That's a completely different driving experience. You can slide out the rear, have a lot of fun. These Mini Coopers are front-wheel drive, but I don't see that as a negative. When you look at these cars, you realize they push the wheels out into the four corners as much as possible. It makes it handle great. There's very little overhang from the front and the rear. Now these Mini Coopers obviously came with a hardtop. They came as a convertible. They came from the factory already boosted, and they're pretty available. You can still find these on the market today. So with these cars, you do need to stay on top of the maintenance. It is a British car made by a German company with a French Chrysler engine. Honestly, sounds like a nightmare, but I promise it does come together incredibly well for this car. Now these cars have been out a long time now, so there are tons of write-ups on forums, there's tons of YouTube videos, and everything you would need to do for the common work on the car. Now the engine bay is very cramped, it's very small, but what you can do is there's just a few bolts to take off the front bumper. The headlights go up with the hood, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can take off the front crash plate and the frame rails, and you have full access to the front and around the engine there. So yes, it is cramped, but just with 20 minutes you can get that front end off and do the service there for the supercharger, the belts, it's all right there. Now these first generation Mini Coopers can have a bad reputation for reliability. I think a lot of that comes from the terrible automatic transmissions that came in these cars. Now these are not Toyota reliable, but these are good cars. When you look at R50s and R53s for sale, you're gonna see that a lot of these have over 200,000 miles. So obviously they can go the distance. So common issues with these Mini Coopers are oil leaks. Always be on the lookout for that. The front shock towers can mushroom and kind of get deformed, and rust. These are not very rusty cars, but just always keep an eye out around the rear tail lights and around the gas cap. For some reason, that's where it always starts on these cars. So look in those two areas for any rust, any bubbling in the paint. Another issue with these cars is that they do not have a spare tire. Small room, there's just no place for a spare tire. So these came from the factory with run flat tires. Run flat tires do have their purpose, but on these cars, they're not great. They are loud. I do wish there was more sound deadening on the interior of these cars, but with run flat tires, it just makes it so much louder. It makes it ride rough. So I think majority of people swapped out to a normal, more conventional tire that is lighter, rides better, and just has better performance. One annoying thing I do have to mention is the interior rattle. For some reason, the interior, I don't know if it's how it's put together or the materials they use, but it is a very rattly interior. Just a little rattly. A little rattle. Nothing major. Nothing to shake a stick at. Now in 2005 and 2006, they did a kind of a mid-generation refresh. So they handle a lot of those issues, but this is a 2005 and there's still a lot of the rattle. What I've done is I've used tiny pieces of cardboard and medical moleskin in certain places, and like when I'm going down the road and I hear a rattle, I can kind of pinpoint where it's coming from. But yeah, the rattle is a big downside with these cars. Now I love these first generation Mini Coopers. They're special cars, they're fun to drive, they have a lot going for them. The second generation Mini Coopers, the R56 models, that started in 2007 or 2009 for the convertibles. They switched from the Supercharger to a turbo for gas mileage, but those cars tend to have a lot of issues. Not saying everybody has issues, but there's a lot of timing chain issues and really kind of big stuff that can go wrong with those cars. And today it seems like all the newer generation of Mini Coopers are more focused on the styling side of things instead of performance, which is a shame because these cars, like I said, have a lot of potential. When I was looking for this Mini Cooper, I was looking for a 2005 or 2006 Mini Cooper S with the manual transmission. Now, I chose 2005, 2006 because those had the mid-generation refresh to where there's less of the dash pieces to help with the interior rattles, a few creature comforts. The gear ratios are more aggressive in the 6th gear, and there's a slight power boost from the engine. Now, I would have looked at a 2002, 2003, 2004 if it was low miles and really well kept, but for the most part, I was looking for 2005 and 2006. Oh dear. So I've had this car almost a year, and what are the plans? What are the goals? It's in very good condition, but it is not perfect. There's a few things that I need to address. One of them is, first and foremost, the CV axle. My left front CV axle is starting to make a little clickety-clack in the hard turns. So I want to get that addressed, that axle. Another one, when I first got this car, it had vinyl stripes going front to back, kind of like a Dodge Viper. Wasn't my thing, so I took the stripes off the car, and when I did that, there's a nice paint blemish that was hiding under the stripe on the hatch. It's not huge, but I want to get it taken care of. I'm probably the only one that notices it, but I want to get it just painted and touched up in the back. And last, I want to tweak the suspension a little bit because it is low and it is stiff. And it's typical car enthusiast conundrum. You know, this is a perfect setup for the track, and it handles amazing. It's an incredibly stiff ride. There's no body roll, but when you're driving in town and you're going over speed bumps and different things, it is pretty unforgiving. So I want to get that addressed. I don't know, I'm going to try to raise it up a little bit, tweak the coilovers with the dampening, see if I can make it a little bit more of a softer ride. And two, I'm on the fence about the all black. And I know that sounds crazy because it is a good looking car. So watch this bump right here. This is what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. And getting off the bridge. Scrape. I want to raise it up so that doesn't happen. Going back to the all black, I see pictures of electric blue R53s with the white roof, and this is factory white roof car. The top right now is vinyl wrapped black, but when I see the pictures of the white roof with the alloy rims, like some nice 17s, I don't know, it just looks really sweet. So I'm thinking every once in a while, I think I want to go back to more of a factory kind of OEM plus look, because these cars are plentiful, but they're becoming pretty uncommon on the road. So do I want to make this a nice driving example, kind of OEM plus, or leave it custom with the 15 sitting nice? So I don't know, that's where I'm at. I'm kind of stuck in the middle there. So I need to put an end to this video, but if you can't tell, I love this car. The answer is yes, you should consider one of these. The R53 MINI Cooper S is a special car. It's supercharged, manual transmission, incredible handling. It will make you smile a lot for $8,000. And if you're like me, you can justify it with the gas mileage. It's just a commuter car. That's all it is. Just a commuter car. It's a very responsible car. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, thank you very much for sticking along. I've enjoyed making videos with the 4Runner, and now I'm introducing the MINI Cooper to you guys as well. So this is Smitty. I'll see you guys next time. Tons of write-ups, tons of forums, tons of scraping. Ugh, grossy. I'm done there. But I think these MINI Coopers have a lot of similarities. Similarities. They are very similar. They are so similar, these two cars. Two cars, so similar. So. Oh God, oh geez. Breaking my chair. In this video, I'm gonna tell you why I was looking for the best car in the world. So these Minis are the first Minis that were made when the Mini brand was, dude, I looked at the words, can't even say it. New belt tensioner, New Juanamana Skinny Hanabana Juanaflan. That is the most atrocious sound I've ever heard in my life. I think it's the sub wire rubbing against the styrofoam in the battery tray. Oh my goodness. Do we ever get to go? Cheese and crackers. I want to go. Hey, what's up, bruh? Nice 4Runner, cuz.